1. We are now recording. We are live. We are not live. This is pre-recorded live. But theoretically, if we were live, everything would be exactly the same because I wouldn't pay attention to the chat room anyway because that's toxic garbage. And starting off strong with Stealinbread here. This is Stealinbread. We are going to be launching our interview series, and what better person to begin with than Stealinbread? I've known Stealinbread for how long? Since 2014?
2015, but pretty close.
Yeah, close. Whenever. And he's the only one who said yes. So I asked 38 people, and they all told me to fuck myself. And that's not actually true. So Bread, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
So you're a speedrunner, is that correct?
Yeah.
Really?
Is that a capital S?
Wow.
That is a yes with a capital Y.
So on screen, we're going to be playing your Project Base PB, which is, would you say your favorite speedrun?
It's one of my favorite speedruns I've done. Not the favorite, but I think it's a pretty damn good run.
Okay, it's a pretty damn good run. Good endorsement. Alrighty, so let's start with talking about our day. How was your day, Brooke?
My day is pretty good so far.
I heard you got a world record.
I mean, so I started playing a game I haven't played in 5 years. I've been bored, so I just booted up Steam. It's called Super House of Dead Ninjas. Just jump down a tower. I don't know. It's weird. Strange game. Apparently, I got the record though. So
apparently, according to reports, we have a world record holder as a part of this podcast. Of course, I don't count as my records are meaningless and shit like me and PS1 shit. All right, Brett, how was your day?
It was pretty good. Just got up, went to work, and here I am.
You went to work. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm in the U.S. Air Force.
no
other way to say it.
Why are you laughing?
It's not as exciting as it sounds. I just fix computers. That's it.
Oh my god.
I gotta front load this. I gotta get all my anti-U.S. military propaganda to front load. Bootlicker. Bad haircut. Oh my god. We're highlighting that one. Air Force participant licks boot live on stream. That's good.
Yeah.
Licks boot. But yeah, so you woke up, you went to the military, participated in some fashion in the genocide of Yemeni children, and then went home, and now you're doing this podcast. Is that the facts?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. All right. I will promise not to mention the U.S. military for the rest of this interview.
All right.
Just got to get it out of the way.
All right.
As far as my day, I woke up. I'm starting a workout regimen. Maybe you can provide some tips or tricks here. Since you work out, is that a fact?
Mostly. I run a lot. I run a lot more than I go to the gym.
Okay. I remember there was this one period where you're hardcore, gym goer.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be a lot bulkier. I kind of slimmed down quite a bit.
Yep.
It went from 5 days a week at the gym to 1 day a week at the gym and then 4 days a week running. So.
And would you say that's better?
It really depends on what your goals are. Do you want to be buff enough to duel a person in the streets?
Duel. Yeah.
Or do you want to be? Do you want to be fast enough to run away from dangerous encounters?
Sadly, my dual disc is across the room. Otherwise, I was going to be epic.
Yeah, the only dueling you're doing is Yu-Gi-Oh dueling.
Oh, here we go.
I'll duel you.
Uh-oh. That's the wrong game, sadly. I don't know anything about that one.
4th edition lightning bolt.
Is that expensive?
It's a 4th edition lightning bolt. It's $2. It's not that expensive.
Okay. Got a $2 card here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have some Yu-Gi-Oh
love Magic
cards.
the Gathering. Good ass fucking card game.
Right here.
You're gonna flaunt some
superior card game. Here we have Change of Heart.
That's
it's a classic.
Is that is that original?
It is starter deck Yugi.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's probably worth a shit ton now.
It's worth maybe 3 pennies. if you're
Oh,
lucky.
3 pennies.
Yeah,
Dang, dude.
it's not first
It's like-
edition. It's
Is
it
only
that worth
is
5
it-
pennies in Canada? So it rounds out.
maybe.
Something like that. Isn't Pot of Greed and like Raigeki and the
The first
Bandless,
edition
aren't
ones.
those like super good?
Yeah. So the thing with Legend of Blue Eyes is that you got first
Mhm.
edition, and then you have like the first print like unlimited. So like it's not first edition, but it's unlimited. And then they reprinted the set so many fucking times over the course of the last 15 years or so. So there's like 2002 unlimited, and then there's like 2004 reprint, 2005 reprint. So like the only really worth ones are the first editions because you can tell it's first edition. Whereas with the reprints, a lot of them are just identical to the old unlimited ones for that kind of stuff. Some of them change the set code a little bit. But anyway, enough about Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's talk about speedrunning.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about speedrunning.
Speedrun?
So how
Love
long
speed.
have you been a speedrunner?
I want to say technically it's as far back as 2012, but realistically probably as far back as 2014.
Okay. And
As far as being involved in the actual community, stuff like that.
okay. And what made you decide I like video games. I'm going to play them over and over and over again.
Yeah, so y'all might laugh at this. A lot of people, when they first start speedrunning, they pick not their nose like I just did, but they pick a game that they really love, and it's probably like a short game, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Back in 2012, I was insane, and me and my friend Steven, we decided that we wanted to get the Excalibur 2 weapon in Final Fantasy IX. That to get that weapon in Final Fantasy IX, you basically have to get to the end of the game 12 hours or less. And
I see. All right.
so it was technically the first
So it's
kind of
built into the game to
kind of thing I did. Yeah, it's built into the game. You can't get it unless you're in the 12-hour window.
It's like Resident Evil, where you have to beat the game in like I think 2 hours or something to get the rocket
It's like
launcher,
that.
or something like that.
Same
Okay.
deal.
That's pretty cool.
So my friend Steven and I, we kind of routed it out. We didn't really use a guide. We just kind of used our own intuition and stuff. Little did we know that there was already a tool-assisted speedrun made back in 2008 or 9 by Essentia, and she had done it in like 8-something hours. And we were just... It took us 8 hours to get to Disc 3, so we were kind of blown away.
So did
But
you
then,
find that after or before doing the run?
Well, we got to Disc 3 and we just kind of gave up. We never really finished it. And
Oh,
from then on,
She never got that.
I just kind of like didn't touch any speedrunning anything. I didn't know there was like such a big community for it even back in the day. And I didn't know that people like did races on SRL or watch streams or anything. But I did like occasionally see a stream here or there. I remember watching this guy back in 2012. I don't
Quick
remember his
interjection.
name. Sure.
Do me a favor and move your webcam up slightly.
Yep.
Yeah, that way we get more of your head.
Yeah, sure.
So we not because it was kind of cutting off a little bit, and I just want to appreciate the army haircut.
Fucking
All right, keep going. I'm sorry.
Sure. Oh my gosh, face itches. So, right. So in 2012, I was watching this streamer who was running Castlevania 3, and he was running Castlevania 3 has like 4 different characters you can select essentially, and you can beat the game with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you beat them, like along your journey. He was playing the thief guy that can like run across ceilings and stuff. So, and he was doing save state practice on it, and I was like, why is he using save states? I don't understand. Why doesn't he just go through the game? And I asked the question in chat.
Play the same level over and over again.
And I felt really
Yeah,
stupid
what the
because
hell?
the chat was like, "Oh, he's practicing the level so he can save a few frames here." I'm like, "What does that mean? What is saving frames?" And
This
then,
is okay. So you're documenting literally your first time, like ever hearing any of this lingo. It's like,
Mhm.
what is a
Wanna know my
frame?
first
Like a picture frame?
yeah, so they
Does your-
explained it.
Does your mom need a Mother's Day present?
There's like the streamer was like, "Oh, a frame is just like 1/60th of a second in this game. That's all it is." I was like, "Oh, cool," and that was pretty much the end of it for a long time. I watched that stream, and then I just didn't really, for whatever reason, I just didn't get into speedrunning really seriously until 2013. So there's this like anime gaming convention type of thing in Middle Tennessee, and I meet this dude named Rudy XX. He's still in the community today, and he had this panel.
Wait a
I think I know this guy.
He
Okay,
has
that means, yeah.
he has a speedrunning panel at this convention, and he was doing like I was like, oh sure, I'll take a few friends. So I had a couple of friends with me. We got some slushies for whatever reason, and then we listened to him, and I was just in awe. I was like, oh my god, there's a whole community.
Why is saving so many frames?
There's more than one guy saving the frames. Oh my god!
He showed me that. He showed us that we could be A Link to the Past in like less than 3 minutes using some kind of cool glitch, and I was like, "That's allowed? What the fuck?"
That's allowed. And, that looks like a cheat code to me.
Yeah. Well, my reaction wasn't that.
You raised your hand. It's like, "That's a cheat. Why'd you cheat?"
No, I thought it was really cool. I was never of the mindset that glitches are cheating. I always thought, "Oh wow, that's really creative."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I first saw glitches like that, it was just like, wow, that's really cool. I want to try it. And then I tried it, and it's like, this is too hard. Fuck this shit.
Nah, what you did was like, you first tried that glitch and like, wow, this is too easy. Takes all the skills.
Oh, yeah, all the skills just removed.
All the skill.
It might as well just destroy your game now because it's worthless. But yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So after that, I just contemplated on it a few months. I was like, man, I kind of want to start up a stream now and start speedrunning, but like, what do I want to speedrun? And again, I will say, people will choose a shorter game as their first speedrun, usually 10 or 20 minute, maybe Kirby for the Game Boy or something crazy.
Let me identify if this is actually true. Brooke, what was your first speed game? How long was that?
It was Mario 64, and I optionally chose to do less stars, so it was shorter. Even though the full run's like 2 hours.
So you're saying you started off with a short game?
It was
so you're proving the rule. You're saying you're proving the rule?
70 star?
It was 30 star.
Oh, 30 star. Yeah, I remember that. Back when it was...
I was really smart because 16 is stupid, and 70 is a bit too long. So I went to go search and look, and like, well, 30 is kind of in the middle, so I'll just do that, even though no one runs it. Is
there a 69 star? I'm sure it's been done. Right?
I mean, yeah, you could do 69 stars. It would just be 70 star, but with a BLJ added, I think.
Yeah. And then you skip something. I don't know anything about Mario. My first speedrun is Edge, and current record's around 40 minutes, but when I first started speedrunning, it was about an hour and a half. So I'm an exception, I just want to say. Unique. I am a snowflake.
No, that's still short by my standards. Anything under 2 hours is short.
Well, you're raising the bar here. You're changing the goalpost. Yeah. First it's 20 minutes. Now it's 2 hours. I don't even know. Yep, that's short.
A short run, such as 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was the game you chose?
So the first game I decided to speedrun was Final Fantasy VIII, and that game can go up to 9 or 10 hours. My first run of it was...
Can it go on forever?
No, not forever, but my first run was 15 hours, so...
15
I don't know why I did it. I just was like, I love the game, and I want to see how fast I can go.
So, you said in 2012 you're doing 9, but this
I was
time
doing
you're doing
9.
And now you're doing 8. So what made you change? Like, why not just go like, oh, I've already have some experience with 9. Did you just count that as something you've already done, or...?
So, Final Fantasy VIII was a game I'd played more than any other game in life ever, and it was just on my mind at the time. Okay. I was like, I want to, like, hardly anyone has done this game. I want to see what I can do to contribute. Hey, it was cool. I even routed it myself. I didn't use any notes, didn't use any community resources. I just routed it myself.
That's really cool.
And then I watched the world record holders video.
What was the world record at the time?
Karakarn Vi at the time, it was an 8:37 something, 8 hours 37 minutes, whatever, on the Sony PlayStation 1.
Okay. So their name is
Sony PlayStation
not 7.
Oh God, yes. I don't have my PlayStation 1 around here, but
yes,
I will show this part of my controller. There you go.
So some tricks he used for his time was he used a PS2 SCPH 90,000 model with fast disk speed.
This sounds like cheating.
Yeah. There's been a debate about it, but hey, it is actual hardware, so it's fine. Yeah, there it is. Cyber's got it. The fabled SCPH 90,001.
It's upside down. There it is.
Hell yeah.
Wait, why'd you put it upside down again?
My mode comes mirrored. Help.
That is a beautiful silver PS2.
Got Dragon Ball Z Budokai in here.
Hell
Did,
yeah.
had,
hell
did a
yeah.
good run
Wow.
last night. I almost PB'd, but I fucked up at the end.
So
Like I always-
what's the difference here? Why is 90,001 good?
Well, before
So-
we begin that, what did you do your first run on?
My first run was on a shitty emulator called EPSXE.
Okay.
So the loading times were abysmal. Sometimes the game just slowed down for no reason because
Of
my
course.
PC sucked.
That'd be really fun for it
But
to
I had
do that
fun.
at a bad time.
I just had fun. It was a good time.
Okay, so you watch this stream, you're like, oh, they're playing on a PS2. I assume they use FDS?
Fast disk speed.
Yeah, fast disk speed is an option. For those of you that don't know, there are several different models of PS2. I've got a bunch here. So here's a 70,000. Here's another 70,000. And then here's
got a-
90,000.
I've got a 70,012 sitting over there and a 90,000 back home. Sadly, go back home yet.
They're color coded for each region. So
Pink
Japanese PAL, and then just accidentally turned out that
Look at
way,
that
and I find that
fucking-
pretty funny.
Shout out to the Pink Pal.
But yeah, so basically with each iteration of the PS2, they kind of like just changed things, you know, because like the PS2 initially launched in like early 2000, like 2001, I think. So then like by 2008, like things were a lot better. So they just re-released it, cheaper parts, faster parts. And one of the things that they usually updated was the disc laser, and that would just spin discs in different and mostly faster ways. And then also in all PS2s is the option to play PS1 games, like they're all backwards compatible. And in the PS2 BIOS, now if you watch like PS1 speedruns, especially if you watch me, you'll notice every time I start a game, I'll press triangle, triangle, down X, because that's how you turn on FDS. And FDS basically what it does is, to my understanding, is it reads PS1 games at the same speed that it would read a PS2 game.
Yeah,
Um,
it's more or less what it does.
Yeah. So basically, with each iteration, they have faster lasers. So the 90,000 is typically the fastest console. However, we have recently discovered, this is a hot scoop that I've not talked about.
Right.
The SpongeBob
hot scoop.
SquarePants Super Sponge is actually apparently faster on a 77,000.
Yeah, there are certain games that are faster. on
It's really
PS1.
weird. It's really
Like
weird.
The RPG Xenogears is actually faster on the 70K models than it is on the 90K models.
See, yeah,
for
that's
whatever
another
freaking reason.
Yeah, I don't
PS1
know.
encoding framework and programming is very convoluted and very strange, especially with the way polygons are rendered and all that crazy
Mhm.
shit. It's game deving was a nightmare for that machine. Let me just tell you,
I'm sure.
it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. But yeah, so I assume, you know, you didn't know what any of that was about. You want to continue the story after
Yeah.
the elongated
So you're an emulator.
interruption?
Yeah, I did my first run, and then after I did my first run on stream, I had maybe like 2 or 3 viewers, and they stick around. It was a fun time. I was in a voice call with people you might recognize: Hype Man, Fire Falcons, Stunt Coyote, and a few others. But
Feel free to ask any of them if they want to get another interview slot. I'm trying to expand here.
Absolutely, I think Stunt Coyote would be down. But so I watched the world record, and they did a lot of the same shit that I did. So apparently, I had the right idea.
That's always
we'll
cool.
get-
I love
we can
doing
get-
that.
We could get into the technical details of it later, but basically, I did the early game shit the same way the world record did, with a few additional things that I didn't need to do. Preparatory work to blow through the rest of the game, essentially.
Hmm.
Because the way Final Fantasy VIII works is that level scaling is a thing, and you don't have to level up to be more powerful. So you can abuse the shit out of that.
Ah, okay.
But they did a lot of other stuff differently, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take notes. So I literally sat down one summer day with nothing to do, took notes, intricate notes, detailed what they did. The menuing was so fast that I had to like pause frame by frame and like look at what they were selecting and shit.
I just want to
Make
say,
sure I
like,
didn't miss anything.
that like new
then-
speedrunner perspective is like where you like try really hard and shit. Like I haven't done that in like fucking forever. It's I'm gonna take
Mhm.
notes. I'm gonna watch it frame by frame.
But guess what? It was all in vain because the world record holder already had a set of notes prepared, and they just gave it to me. And it turned out that my notes that I was writing down was accurate. And then they told me that I need to understand the reason for why they are doing these menus a certain way. And I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. For instance, you're refining zombie magic in Disc 3 so you can have certain resistances to the final boss and all that shit. I was like, oh my god, that's fucking galaxy brain shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Yeah, RPG routing sounds really fun. Like, with all the...
I mean, it's
like,
an experience.
It is. Yes.
I've played a few RPGs, I've routed a few, but I've not done anything like Final Fantasy. Like, longest RPG I've played is like 5 hours. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely a different beast. Like, once you get into the double digits, it's definitely a different beast.
Yeah, the whole idea behind routing an RPG is getting through the game from start to finish as fast as possible. But in addition to being as fast as possible, you have to be able to consistently beat the final boss of said RPG. Every RPG has a final boss.
It always boils down to, like, the final boss, you know?
Or a boss that's harder than the final boss. The difficulty spike and then the final boss is easy. But if you can get that bare minimum to get past that and get past everything else, then you're good to go. The part that makes it interesting is things like equipment optimization, ability optimization, and level optimization. That's like the trifecta of RPG routing. Sometimes you'll find early game equipment. For instance, in Final Fantasy IX, there is a weapon called the Ogre that you can equip to Zidane, the main character. That weapon triples your damage for a good majority of Disc 1 and part of Disc 2, so it just carries you through the rest of the game. So that's an example of equipment optimization. Level optimization. At the end of Final Fantasy IX, you are level 32, or from level 28 to level 32 at the final boss. And then ability optimization, you only invest in abilities that are worth it to beat the bosses that you need to beat, and nothing else. The bare minimum. So all that combined almost always creates interesting routing opportunities throughout the game. And then there's also a fourth element that I did not leave. OP
The quadrangle of RPG
the quadrangle. So the fourth thing that makes most RPG speedruns possible are OP as fuck items. The best example is Final Fantasy VII. At the beginning of the game, roughly about 30 to 40 minutes in, you get to Eris's house. You can just sell everything, buy a bunch of grenades, and those grenades do more damage than your limit break special attack things, and they have shorter animations. So you just throw grenades at every boss.
Yeah, animations is like, that seems like something really interesting to keep in mind. Like, would there be like a weapon that you don't use because the animations are too long?
Yes. There are weapons in so in Final Fantasy VIII, not only does it take time to farm upgrades for weapons, but the new weapons that you get give you new limit breaks, which have longer animations. They might be better limit breaks, but they're worthless because the animations are so goddamn long.
But they're epic though, right? Like, they're really epic.
They are. Oh, yeah. Casual playing? Yeah, dude. Squall's Lionheart.
They're so epic. I remember playing Legend of Dragoon, and that game was fucking... I gotta play that again. It's so epic.
Double Slash. Yeah,
I might actually play that again. It's been a while.
That's a good fucking game.
I remember I was enjoying it, and then I got to Disc 3, and it didn't work. And I was like, oh, I have to buy another one. And then by the time I got the other Disc 3, I just didn't want to play it anymore. But
I feel that.
I got trolled. It's like, yeah, this is a working copy. The person who sold it to me was thinking, this person's never going to get to Disc 3, of course.
Oh my god.
I got the Disc 3 and wouldn't look.
Yeah, they'll boot up Disc 1 and then never look, and then they will never have to...
And see, they can't refute the sell because they already got through Disc 2.
Yeah, and that takes like 3 months, so you just lose the period. Yeah. It's pretty smart tactic, you know. For like when I sell things on eBay, I just destroy all the fourth discs. It's like, it's just for fun. You might as well. Like, no one's ever gonna test them in time, you know. It's like, whatever.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
This is satire. That's a joke. Yeah. So
satire.
Confirmed eBay seller here.
Confirmed.
I have good feedback. Thank you. So yeah, you're speedrunning Final Fantasy, and that was fun.
Yeah.
How long did you how long was that whole segment? Like few
Final
months?
Fantasy VIII was until about September, October of 2014. And then after that, I was like, okay, I need to run shorter games. So, and already midway through the summer of 2014, I was learning Super Metroid and Final Fantasy IV. Considerably shorter, more condensed.
Is that the one you played at the marathon I hosted a few years ago? That one
Yep.
where you're like, okay, I remember that one.
Yeah, the one where I messed up the 64 floor glitch. That was funny.
Oh, that's that game.
That was funny. Oh man.
So your goal is to learn shorter games, or is that just a happenstance of the games you chose, or?
It was a happenstance of the games I chose. My goal was more explore some of the games I had played in previous years and see what I could do with them. I had this smorgasbord of I want to run this game someday. I just kind of dove headfirst into it. Super Metroid especially, that game took me down a pretty interesting path. So did Final Fantasy IV. Both of those games taught me a lot of, I think, fundamentals of speedrunning that I would not have learned through other games.
Like
so
what?
I think that's really cool. So I'll start with Super Metroid and Final Fantasy IV kind of combined.
Okay.
FF4 for an RPG is very technical. There's a lot of frame perfect shit you do in battle to make attacks go off early before the enemies can attack, and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of movement optimization and step count routing and stuff it's a lot more technical than A's, is what I'm saying. There's inventory management too. Your inventory fills up really quickly, so during battles while animations are going, you like move your items around to the top of the screen and you move other shit to the bottom that you don't need so that your potion is in the top right corner when you first select it.
Yeah, RE4
like that.
RE4 has
It's like that,
really
yeah.
fun inventory management where like if you say an enemy drops something good, like you don't want to pick it up because it fucks everything up in your inventory.
Mhm.
Like you just play the whole game with like a very specific selection of how you pick things up and all that.
Yeah,
That kind of
it's
stuff
exactly
is really
like that.
like because like on a casual playthrough you would literally just never in your fucking million years think, oh, that grenade on the 15th mission, I'm gonna need that over here, you know? So I think
Mhm.
that's definitely like a speedrun exclusive kind of thing.
It is. And then Super Metroid taught me a lot of the importance of movement and technical stuff. You know, you go into speedrunning head first. A lot of people are like, I need to master this trick to save 2 more minutes. I need to master this boss or this shit. But a lot of people don't think about how is my movement? Am I saving 2 seconds here and there? Am I saving 4 seconds in this room by moving a lot faster? And all those little milliseconds add up to a big time save at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
is
a lot
why
of
my
people
time
when
is
they're
a
new
52 and the world record is a 41,
yeah.
for instance.
A lot of people just
That kind of
focus on like, oh, I gotta get the specific trick, and
Yeah,
then all
my
their
biggest pet
movement is
peeve,
shit.
right? In
It's like,
Mario
well-
64, the most infamous trick early on is the owlless as an aim, so you must go
Owlless,
for it if
yes.
you're new. It saves, like 5 seconds? And when you're starting up, some people have like consistency of like 10%, and it's like 5 seconds in Mario 64. It's like, just skip the fucking owl. Like, I see it and it's just like so...
Yeah,
like, so-
I got into this argument on Reddit I think it was like a week ago, and Brad, you might have some take on here. It was about mashing in Mega Man. Because someone like just said that, you know, oh, I'm not good at mashing, what can I do? And I recommended, oh, there's like versions with a auto fire built in, you can just play those. And then I got like a bunch of mad kids that were like, mashing is a fundamental skill. If you don't do it, you'll lose 5 seconds on the intro stage. Like, the game's like 40 minutes. Like, who cares about 5 seconds? Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, the guy literally is like, I'm learning to speedrun this game. 5 seconds is nothing. So yeah, people like get way too hung up on the little things. For sure.
Yeah.
I think when you're first starting, it's just like the best is just like just play the game and like
Oh yeah.
then you can kind of
Exactly.
understand what you should focus on.
Like yeah, my always first thing is like don't watch anything, just play through the game like 5 times myself, pick up what I pick up, and then you just have a better understanding of the game. So like when you watch tutorials and other runs, you can go like, "Oh, I know how that works." And then you can
Mhm.
emulate it easier for sure.
That's exactly, yeah, because if you play it a lot before you even dive into the speedrunning of it, you have a good casual map of the game in your head.
Mhm.
You have a conceptual framework to work with. A lot of people, it kind of makes me sad that I see people, they get into speedrunning and they've never played the game casually.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the fuck? Now, if it's like a shitty meme game, sure, like okay, just dive into speedrunning it because it sucks anyways and it's not fun to play casually. Like Ice Age 2, that's what I did. But if it's a game worth playing casually, then by all means experience it. Don't rob yourself of that experience.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's really funny when you're watching someone and they're doing this like really hard thing, and then they don't know that like if you played it casually, you just like do it this other like easy way. That's like a lot easier.
I've seen it too many times.
Yeah, all kids
It's
these
like this,
days.
if you're only watching videos, then you're gonna miss out on like a lot of the stuff that like you just never see.
Mhm.
These fucking kids don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess to get back on track, history. I did Super Metroid for a while through 2014 and a little bit of 2015. And Super Metroid was always on and off through even up to now. Like I've just always done it on and off.
It's just like
Take
one
a
of your
6-month break.
staples.
Yeah, it's a staple game. I always come back to it. I'm like, I can save one more minute. 53, 52, 51. Eventually get the sub 50. Still haven't gotten sub 50.
Yeah, I got a few games where it's like, I'd like to do a run every year, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that.
By the way, Brooke, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Can you lower your volume a bit? You have a little echo going.
What the? I lowered it beforehand.
Gotta lower it again. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm at 17 out of 100.
Gotta go to 16. I'm sorry. But yeah, so Super Metroid's your staple. How'd you kind of get involved with that?
Well, back in the day, back in the old days, you're gonna laugh, but there was this fucking Facebook group called Super Metroid Speedrunning. It's still active today. And back then, like, you know, speedrunning was a lot more decentralized. You didn't have speedrun.com. You didn't have Discord. You had IRC channels, you had Skype, and you
I
had
want to
Facebook.
do like a series of videos like pre-speedrun.com, like, because no one
Yeah.
knows, like back in the day when there were just no leaderboards, like, oh, what's the record? You just have to like go from stream to stream. Who has the fastest time? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
had to
was-
do that.
You know,
There was deartier.com, but like fucking nobody checked.
Still there.
They were just too dumb to ask, me included.
dumb bad.
Yeah, man. So I went to this Facebook group and I met this dude called Stunt Coyote, and that's how we became friends. We just discussed it. He ran this ROM hack called Project Base, and I was like, "Fuck is that shit?"
So were you familiar with ROM hacks?
I was not. I didn't know ROM hacking was a thing.
Oh, wow,
I,
so,
I was
okay.
just like, I play the original game. That's all there is.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a lot of Super Metroid, and Stunt Coyote and I were going to this marathon in the fall that I organized called East Coast Speedrunning Marathon. So he came from Michigan, like 12 hours down. And
I
he showed me around.
gotta interject here. I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
East Coast Speedrunning Marathon that took place in a state not connected to the East Coast. It was in Tennessee, is that correct? Which
Yes, it was in
it does
Tennessee.
not share a border with the Atlantic Ocean. Just so that was my
That
criticism
means-
at the time.
East Coast is East Coast is kind of a variable definition, but
I
yeah,
know.
I
I'm just
agree.
teasing.
It was a bad naming convention.
I'm
We
just
eventually
teasing.
changed it later, but yeah.
We'll get into that.
So that marathon, this is back to 2014. You know, East Coast Speedrunning Marathon. I did Super Metroid. The run was horrible. Stunt Coyote did Project Base, and I just kind of sat on the couch and watched him do it. And I was like, dude, this is fucking cool as shit. He did reverse boss order, and somehow you're able to get the Varia suit before you can go beat Ridley. So that made reverse boss order just really interesting. And I was like,
yeah,
dude,
seeing a ROM hack
alright.
and then like something like reverse, like, were you familiar with that yet at the time?
no, I wasn't familiar with
So,
reverse
okay, so
boss
you're-
order. I was like, dude,
This is like a
this is
mind
like-
blown.
this is blowing my
Yeah.
mind.
This is like an
Stunt-
epiphany. Like you're
And then
sitting
Stunt
there.
Coyote's tech skill, even back then, like me and him have grown in what we call tech skill, which is like just your ability to move efficiently in a game. He was back then. Even I was just in awe. I was like, oh my god, this guy's a fucking monster. So he taught me everything he knew. We just kind of sat down after our runs, and he just showed me a lot of cool tech. He was like, "This is how you do a triple tap, ba ba ba, boom," and then you got a shine spark. And I was like, "Dude, mind blown."
That's how it
Oh,
happens.
yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, dude. And we just had like this brotherhood that we still have going strong today. And he didn't even stream on Twitch at the time, which was the really funny thing. He was a YouTube speedrunner. Back in the day, you had Twitch speedrunners and YouTube speedrunners. YouTube speedrunners did not stream at all.
Yeah, they just uploaded the
their
runs?
PB with no commentary, and they were like, "Yeah, I saved 6 minutes. I don't think I'll do another run." 6 months later, I saved another.
Isn't there like some like scandal in the Super Metroid community where there's like a YouTube speedrunner that just like every
think-
time the war is beaten, he just like, oh yeah, by the way, like a day later or something, just upload something else.
So he streams now, but the person you're talking about is Behemoth.
Right?
Oh, they stream
Zost-
now. Okay.
Zost was
Ruining
this,
the meme?
Zost was and is pretty much like the best Super Metroid player in the world. I think he's held that title for a very long time, since about 2013, when he took over Garrison's throne. And shoutouts to Garrison. And more shoutouts to Zost.
Anti-shoutout!
I'm deflecting these shoutouts with Mirror Force right now.
The famous thing that happened with Behemoth in Super Metroid was that he had been theorizing a new route for a long time. If you're not familiar with Super Metroid, there are 4 bosses, right? Kraid, Phantoon, Ridley, and Dragon. That's the order that you beat them in the speedrun normally. Behemoth had the idea that if you beat Phantoon first, then you could then go beat Ridley and Kraid in whatever order you wish, and you could clear the bottom section of the game in kind of one go and save a bit of time that way. You don't get Speed Booster as early, which has some disadvantages, but ultimately you save the surface area that you travel, and thus you save roughly 100 in-game seconds. That's what they have kind of theorized that it was. At least the Tassers at the time thought that. But
yeah, so
thought that
there's an item called
RTA
Speed
viable.
Booster.
The what?
There's an item called Speed Booster.
Speed Booster, yes.
So it's like, were people just routing it initially? Oh, let's just get this item ASAP, or like, is that okay?
The idea behind the initial routing was Garrison's reasoning was, once you beat Kraid, you can get Varia Suit, which lets you go get Speed Booster immediately, which then allows you to just blow through the rest of the game. But the problem is, you beat Kraid, and then Kraid is in the same area as Ridley, which is Norfair, right? So, or it's generally in the same vicinity. So the idea is, well, why not just beat both in one go instead of doing Kraid and then going up to Phantoon and then coming all the way back down and beating Ridley?
Okay, that's a lot better of an explanation than I kind of created in my head, which is like, you want to do Phantoon because it's like random, and it's like better to do it first.
I don't know anything about this.
But
like,
the problem with
Phantoon?
Phantoon first is there is a double frame pixel perfect continuous wall jump that you have to do to get over to it. It's over the moat on the way to Phantoon. And then you don't have Speed Booster, so you can't Shine Spark across the lake. You have to go through it in such a way and not get hit, and it's pretty tough. And you have to beat Phantoon with no Varia or any suit. So people are like, this is not RTA viable. There's no way people can do it consistently.
This fucking
Spoiler alert. Years later,
it's
people
not
are doing it
RTA
consistently.
It's not RTA viable.
So Behemoth comes the fuck out. World record at the time is 44 something 16, 17. I don't.
When was this exactly?
4408. It was sometime in either 2014 or 15. I don't exactly remember.
So like you were still new at the time?
I was still new, and it was exciting, and I was like, this is cool. So Behemoth just releases a video, Giga Behemoth 87, 120 views, Super Metroid in 40 something, and he did that route, and he did it. He failed the first jump twice, and he still beat the record.
That's one of those things I love.
It was so funny.
Like when
the whole community was in an uproar. But the problem is, he had been trying to tell the community that this route would work, and nobody believes him.
That reminds me of Mega Man X2.
And then they got mad at him for doing the route.
That's exactly like Stag Third. Do you remember that? Stag Third was so good at the time.
I don't know anything about Mega Man, so
yeah, in Mega Man X2,
but I've heard of Stag Third.
Yeah, there was this huge debate. Oh, is it faster? Oh, and then someone like did a run and it was faster, and it was like, oh, and it was just like this huge drama, and it's like, come on.
Mm-hmm. People said, here's what people were saying about Super Metroid. I can't believe they destroyed all my hard work.
And it's funny because like they watched the run and like, wow, I was trying so bad, and it's faster.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry anymore. What about my subscriber count?
But then people got over it, they sucked it up, and they did the route, and now Zost is good at that route. A lot of people, Oats and Goats, and prominent members, top level speedrunners of Super Metroid, they're way better at the game now because of that route. It's crazy. A lot of them quit because it's cancer or whatever.
Oh my god.
And I don't think I could do that route, but I mean, it's beyond my skill level. But like, it's fun to watch. It's really exciting. I think it's a lot cooler to watch than old route because we call it new route and old route now.
Are they separate categories? Or is it just
No.
like you just do whatever?
Nah,
Okay.
you just put your boss order with your PB, and that's it.
Okay.
Commander isn't that dumb, right?
I hope not.
Yeah, we don't separate any percent KPDR. Let's be real now.
Wait, isn't
It's
there?
80%,
Isn't
no major glitches, by the way, no major glitches. So
Fuck! I remember there was some dumbass naming convention that like I joined the
Yeah.
community for like a solid 3 seconds and was like, "What's up with this?" And everyone got mad at me. I forgot what it
I
was.
remember that.
Wasn't it
I
like
remember that. Yeah.
like no major glitches except it has a major glitch or something? I don't know.
It doesn't have any major glitches. There's minor skips, but that's it.
I don't remember. Who cares?
Well, it's major to me, so
It's major in the military sense.
Major, yes. The gold leaf. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. All right, so you played Metroid. You know, it was a time. You had a time.
Yeah, it was a great time. And then
And-
2015 hits, and everything changes. I get into
Uh-oh.
Project Base. It all started with this race that I did with Stunt Coyote. This dude from the Netherlands, his name was Linkemeister, and then this absolute meme of a person, Hubert0987. And we decided to just do a race of Project Base. And then we did it the next week. And I found myself getting really into Project Base a lot more than I was into Vanilla Super Metroid.
Now let me project here. Was the
Sure.
reasoning like, oh, I can get the world record in this and not the other one, so I'm gonna play this one instead? Okay,
No, not really.
that's my reasoning. When I play obscure
really
ROM
care.
hacks, that's my reasoning.
It was more like I really liked the community that we had. There was just like 5 of us at the time, but we had a fucking awesome time doing races and shit. So Super Metroid had their weekly race on Friday nights, so we did ours on Saturday nights.
Oof.
And Hubert was one of the first people from the Super Metroid community to come over and do races with me, Stunt Coyote, and Linkemeister.
trying
And
to
we-
convert the community, huh?
And we just found ourselves engrossed in the game, and it had a lot of routing potential. That's what got me attracted to it. The game was not optimized, and the route was a lot different than vanilla Super Metroid, and that's what made it interesting. So we were all like, well, if we skip this missile pack, then we can go here and get this pack of supers instead. If we skip the cave, then we can skip 2 items and fight Mother Brain with 2
That's
E-tanks.
one thing about
shit like
ROM
that.
hacks that's really
was
cool. It's
cool.
like you already
It was
know
awesome.
the game mechanics, so it's just
Yeah.
like you're like 100% fully informed, and it's just purely like routing out the level. That's what I love about
like
Doom.
that too.
Doom
It was a
has all
very
the
much
WASD
unique
stuff.
situation. Yeah, it was a lot like that. We a lot of routing opportunity, a lot of racing opportunity, and it was pretty much the golden age of Project Base, as we like to call it. Late 2015, early 2016. It was a great time to
So
be
what are we in
alive.
now? The Bronze Age? Everything is rusted away.
This is the dark age.
We're
Yeah?
in the age where we're waiting for Grime to update the game. We're just waiting on that.
Okay.
We got an update like a year ago, and there was some activity, but the record is still on the older version, which has not been beaten yet. So yeah.
Is it one of those things where every update you have to have a new leaderboard, or how does that work?
No. So the versions we have now are 0.7.2 and 0.7.3. They're so similar that we just decided to combine them on the leaderboards.
So what do the version
0.7
updates add?
0.7.3 added the ability to control your trajectory during a shine spark. So like, you're going across the screen, you are set in that direction. Now you can like go up, down, up, down, up, down, and control your trajectory a little bit more. So you can like make minor adjustments if you mess up.
Okay.
And some little things are changed. The record is still on 0.7.2, where there is no shine spark control. So that's pretty funny. Galamaz, who's the current record holder, he's this freaking Asian guy that's just good at everything, I guess. And he's just a fucking god at the game, dude. Like, and the record stood for almost 2 years. It's just a fucking legend.
Just going
Wow.
in.
Yeah, so I've spent the vast majority of my time on that, especially not in just any percent, but 104%, which was an even bigger routing project. I would say 40% of which I did the work on.
I love games where it's just like you can play it, but like a different category, and it's just like always so exciting
Yeah.
and fresh.
Yeah, man, we had our own reverse boss order. We had 104%, any percent, and just all this different shit. We had meme race categories too. We had one called Spring Ball RTA, where it started as a joke and then it became an actual thing, where you just raced a spring ball and then you get spring ball and stop the timer. It's like 15 minutes long.
Those are always
That
fun.
reminds me of
Yeah,
Noodles percent in Spyro 3.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, this egg has a really funny name. Let's just do a speed run where we just get there. And then it's really funny
Yeah.
because like the route for that category actually turned into any percent because later, like in order to beat Spyro 3 at the time of Noodles percent, you like, you know, you didn't need a bunch of stuff, but like because you're stopping halfway through, but normally you'd have to collect a bunch of shit for like to open up the last boss. So like people like started routing out that stupid meme category, and then like a while later, like, oh, we can skip the final boss that was found. So it's like, oh, let's import all those strats from Noodles percent, the stupid meme, and then they became part of the
Yeah.
any percent route. That was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
So so you know, how have the last? It's 2019 now, so let's like, how have the last few years been as far as speedrunning goes? Like
I'll just go for. So I've already summarized 2014 and 15 pretty well. I'll just kind of briefly summarize the next few years. 2016 was the year of Undertale. I got into that. Y'all know what happened with Undertale. It became way too popular, and
yeah, I don't. The only thing I know is that I watched you play it, and like, it was the most boring experience of my life, and like, I wanted to die.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it doesn't really have impact unless you've played it. But the speedrunning, Undertale was a one-hit wonder. It had a big speedrunning community. It was massive. Anybody could be streaming it, and you would have 50 viewers or more, no matter who you were, because of the game's popularity.
I
And
do
then after
remember that.
AGDQ, and then yeah, I remember that. I had crazy amounts of viewers. I had 150 viewers once just doing true pacifist ending runs, and I made a lot of lifelong friends. Shout outs to Star Smiley, TGH, and just everybody in that community
I'm gonna
that
sneeze
I got
soon,
to know.
Just a warning.
It was GD Tog, Kate, bunch of people. It's also how I met the person I'm currently married to, so it's pretty neat.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Epic.
Spicy. So you're saying let's get this straight, you met the love of your life through speedrunning?
Yeah,
Is that wow?
yeah.
Can we have an applause here? Oh my goodness. We're gonna clip this.
Hell yeah.
Speedrunner, not an incel?
Oh my God. That's quite surprising considering how many incels there
Brooke and
are.
I have been like doing deep
Oh my
dives
God,
into
bro.
our speedrun posters, and it turns out a very unsurprising but shocking amount of our speedrun posters post in like our brain cells and all these other like right-wing incel forums on Reddit.
Oh,
And it's just they post on our speedrun with their same account, so it's like you just do a deep dive. Some guy's talking about like Yoshi's Island, and all of a sudden it's like, I hate women, and it's like,
Those guys like
those
porn.
creatures. It's so good. We're planning on doing a segment on it soon. It's really funny.
It's fucking r/speedrun is the worst goddamn. It's the second worst goddamn subreddit on fucking Reddit.
It's
The first being r/MMORPG. But that's another one for another time.
We'll get into that one in Bread
Oh
Part
boy.
2.
Oh. Yeah. So anyways, to summarize the years, 2016 was the year of Undertale. Big community, one-hit wonder. As soon as 2017 hit, TGH did his run at AGDQ 2017. The game just died. He just quit the game. It died. Nobody speedruns it anymore. Nobody takes it seriously. It was a one-hit wonder for like 12 months, and now it's not active
There's so
anymore.
many of those games where like, now that speedrunning is as popular as it is, like a new game will come out, and then it's like Resident Evil 7 was like that. There was like 100 runs in like the first few weeks, and then like now no one cares about it because the game kind of sucks, you know?
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. And the same thing happened with Resident Evil 2 for a little bit. It was huge, and now it's like...
The new one, I still haven't played it.
I've heard it's pretty good. Stunt Coyote really liked it. He was going in hard on runs of it for quite a time.
Yeah.
But anyways, so 2017, for me, it was, as you and I both know, 2017 was the year of Stream.me, which is an entirely other podcast that we could talk about for probably
Honestly,
entire episode.
We should actually do that. Like,
Let's do that.
let's plan the sequel. Like,
The Stream Me, The Legend of Stream Me,
I still have
Episode
so
1,
much to say.
Piganotti Strikes Back.
oh my god, I have
shit like
so
that.
much to say about that I just
I do
haven't said
too.
yet.
Oh my god, I do too. But
Quick
I started
though.
streaming on this other site.
Real
called
quick,
Stream.me.
how do you feel about Streamy being gone now?
Thumbs up.
All right,
That's all I have to say.
all right. So I
I can say a
destroy
lot
your
more.
life and force you to make one of the worst decisions you've ever made.
Yeah. So remember East Coast Speedrunning Marathon from 2014? That marathon is now Speedrunning Expo. Cyber and I go to the same SRX in 2017, and Cyber does like a Resident
Early
Evil 4 run,
2017?
Mega Man X6,
Of course,
and
the classic.
and I do a bunch of other games there too. Ice Age 2, you know, the legendary meme. I had world record in that game at the time. Good shit. And
It's back when you were
what else?
relevant in the Ice Age experience.
back when I was a relevant speedrunner, to be
King of the
honest, dude.
Squirrels.
King of the Squirrels. And at Project Base 104%, I was racing Hubert, and we ended the race 15 seconds apart. I'll never forget that. That was fucking epic. It was probably one of the greatest speedrunning moments of my life, if I'm going to be honest.
There it is.
Wow, that's a big claim.
I don't think
That-
I was
that
there
whole-
for that one.
That whole week was just awesome. It was a great time. Just waking up, eating Asian food, and hanging out with my speed friends, dude. It was great. It was fucking epic. So, 2017, after that marathon, Cyber convinced me to stream on Stream.me instead of Twitch. Stream.me had this monthly contest where you could win money based on the amount of points that you got. And long story short, I ended up placing 3rd, 4th, or 5th just about every single month. And Cyber was first every single fucking month, making crazy money. I was making pretty good money too. It was supplementing my incomes. An extra $600 a month. That shit was fucking crazy, dude. So
yeah, like, you know,
and so-
it's wild.
yeah, it was fucking.
And
wild.
honestly, the experience of it, though, is like, it really is a cool experience to be like a
Mhm.
full-time streamer with like, you had like, I don't know, like 20 viewers or so,
Mhm.
like always watching you, but like you can still kind of make it work, and it's a good experience. So I
Mhm.
mean, I personally would say it's
Exactly.
worth it, but I
It
mean,
was worth it.
So I spent a whole year on that website, and I do have some regrets, but I mostly don't regret it because it taught me a lot of shit. And then I ran a lot of different games. I went back to Final Fantasy IX after so long. I was like, you know, I haven't touched this game in a long time, so I'm going to try to get a PB in it. And the PC version had just come out, so it had even faster loading times, but unfortunately it had a lot of shitty game-breaking bugs. I still ran it, though. So I got like a low 9-hour run, and I was super happy with that. I got Excalibur 2 for the first time. I'll never forget that shit. That was cool.
oh yeah, like
You
you,
finally
it's like
got
you
it.
finally
Got it,
finished.
yeah.
You finally, that's good.
And now I
like
could
that.
just get it with no effort. It's like, just follow the notes, boom.
That's a pretty good, like, punctuation. Got some hydration here. Brooke, do you have any water? Can we have some hydration?
I have no water.
Not
So
prepared.
then, after the whole streaming experience, 2018 rolls around, and 2018 was kind of the year that I didn't really do much speedrunning at all. I kind of got jaded with the whole speedrunning thing because Stream Me was going really downhill. They had
No
long
kidding.
story short, they had a change of management, and they changed the way the contest worked, and I suddenly couldn't place as high as I was consistently
Yeah,
before.
yeah. It was like,
And I was
like
just like-
summer 2017. They kind of changed it, like a lot of the management, and then by 2018, things just, it was,
Mhm.
God, it was pretty horrendous.
So I moved back to Twitch, and I just kind of streamed for fun and camped out for a bit. And I was like, okay, I gotta find some good employment that I don't need the supplement. And long story short, I joined the military.
I
joined
made
the
a
Air Force.
promise. I'm not going to say anything.
So then May of
No.
2018, I step on the bus going to Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, and I'm on my way to basic training. And then, what do you know? 2018's already. The year flew by so fast that I don't even remember most of 2018. It was
Honestly, same. I just spent like a
It's-
majority
it's
of the
all a
year in like
blur.
a depressive spiral.
all. Mhm.
Oh,
Hell
But in
yeah.
2018, I got married to the love of my life. He's a good boy. And 2019, here I am.
Are you bringing it back? Is this the year of bringing it back?
So it's kind of funny.
Breading it back, even?
I've like tried multiple times to get back into speedrunning other games I used to love, but I found out that might disappoint some of y'all. But
Uh-oh.
I've been playing a lot of randomizer. But other than that, I think I've gone through the smorgasbord of, hey, I want to speedrun this game sometime. This one, and I've reached the bottom of the list.
Is this it?
It's
Is this the official announcement? Speedrunner?
there's
I'm
no.
now a
I mean, there's
randomizer
no.
streamer.
I don't think you ever really quit speedrunning. You know.
Okay, how do
But,
you feel about the like the the big paste bins? This is why I quit speed, and then they come back like a
Alright.
week
Oh my
later.
God.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
so
I
good.
see. I never wanted to be that guy, right? I
Mhm.
see people like guy who has 50 viewers and maybe 300
Uh-oh.
followers, so just jaded with the community. I just don't feel like I belong, and I'm just
God damn.
speedrunning just doesn't resonate with me. So, with the heavy heart, I leave, and I will see you all later. Comes
I'll
back
leave
in
my
2
light
weeks.
to
Hey
see
guys,
ya.
I'm running Mega Man again. It's that kind of shit. Like no big pace spin. I'm just losing interest. I'm not to say I'm totally disinterested. I still do races with people, and I do randomizer, which I think is kind of like a halfway house into speedrunning, but it's not really speedrunning. But
It's more so like randomizers feel like I'm, decent at this game. Let's just have fun with it, kind of more than
Yeah.
anything.
it's
Whereas
that
like
kind of thing.
speedrunning has that whole like scholastic study element and like the training
Yes.
aspect, whereas randomizers are just more like, oh,
Randomizer
buddy.
tests your ability to route on the fly more than anything. If you can route on the fly, then you'll be good at it. But yeah,
on the
dude,
fly, is that an Air Force joke?
On
See, that's what
Am
we're
I
doing.
fly fight win?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, and by the way, when I say dude, dude is gender neutral, in my opinion. If it's not,
It's gender neutral on the Air Force.
Okay.
In international skies, it's gender neutral.
In international skies.
No, I understand.
Holy shit. But yeah, so it's just I'm just kind of losing interest, and I think instead of forcing myself to say, hey, I'm gonna speedrun this game now, I think it's better that I just kind of sit back and wait until something jumps out at me, because that's how it started in the first place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Until
Yeah,
then,
you
I'm
don't
just
need to
playing
force
a
it.
lot of shit casually that I haven't gotten to play in a while.
Like, from someone who was like a full-time speedrunner for like a year and a half or so, like forcing yourself to play a game that you like
Yeah.
just don't find interest anymore is like it does get like it's really bad. I don't want to talk
It's-
about it too much, but it's
it
really
turns-
bad.
You turn your hobby into a job, and suddenly you don't really love it as much anymore.
Yeah, who'd have
It's kinda
thunk?
suck. Yeah.
But yeah, so how do you feel about like speedrunning like as a whole, like where the whole direction of the community is with the big kind of breakout of these content creators and like the success of the GDQs and like how popular it is?
That's a pretty broad question, but I think I thought about this a lot. I kind of want to answer it as best I could. So, speedrunning, I feel, started out. Most things, right? They start out as this niche kind of things where you have a small group of people that are really enthusiastic about it. Back then, the speedrunning community was unified. It didn't matter what you speedran; you were part of a single community. Now that it has gotten so popular, big, and expanded, it's all these sub-communities, one over here, one over here, one over here.
Yeah, it went from like
Here's
everyone
Mario
knowing
64.
each other to no one knowing each other. And then like
Yeah.
there's also a huge class divide in speedrunning where like all the popular fuckers just like look down on everyone else and that kind of stuff. Whereas
There is,
before I mean there was a class divide the whole time, but like I don't know, it's just like with the American economy, everything's
Well,
just so much more.
yeah.
It's like the American economy.
It is
Literally.
like the American
It
economy.
literally
is.
100%, dude. So you go back to like 2011, 2012, even 2013 to an extent, and you watch those AGDQs, you notice how everybody's friendly with each other on and off camera, because there's off camera footage of the event. You walk in and you see
Everyone
Cypher.
knows each other.
Everybody knows each other, and it's just kind of like
I don't
a
want
big
to see
family
Cypher
reunion.
personally.
Nobody, but my point is like nobody really, nobody had this grandiose air about them, I guess,
Mhm.
and I think that started sometime in 2014, and it's kind of a shame because that's when I actually got into the community.
Yeah,
I came
for
into the
sure.
community thinking that it was, oh, they're these charitable, amazing people that raise money for charity. They're fucking awesome. That's so cool. And then
Instead, they're all dirty capitalist scum.
and then
I
you know,
know.
I actually started to notice this a couple of years ago. It didn't hit me until 2017, which is when I think it kind of all really started to spearhead.
Yeah,
Like,
when
it was
you were
definitely-
when you were in
it
the
was-
position of being a streamer and like full time and that kind of stuff, you get more of
It was-
the position and understanding, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it was boiling, like boiling water, but it wasn't to a rumbling boil yet. But then it spearheaded itself in 2017 with AGDQ 2017 just kind of kicking off the year. You noticed a lot of people started getting sponsored by esports teams. A lot of people
Right,
started
that's
getting
a thing.
way
That's
more
a thing.
popular than you could ever fucking imagine. It was crazy. And these people, like it or not, they're treated as gods, and I think it's kind of disgusting in a way. You've got like currently the
Yeah.
most popular person in the speedrunning community, and I don't hate him at all. I think
Who is
he's an
this?
awesome dude and he's a good father, but his name is Grand Pooh Bear. You know, he's
the
sponsored
most
by.
popular.
He's
I-
probably the
wait,
most
The
popular.
most popular speedrunner. My reaction is who?
Yeah. So Grand Pooh Bear, right? He does a bunch of Mario shit. And he's a
Oh,
good guy,
was this
you
like the
know?
Mario Maker kind of like?
He does Well, he likes Mario Maker, but mostly Super Mario World ROM hacks. And he's an all right
Okay.
guy. He's a pretty cool guy. He's a father. You know, he's married, all that shit. But I can't help but get like an air of superiority vibe kind of coming off of him. You go to his Twitter page and you can just kind of like resonates off of his Twitter page. You ever just go to somebody's Twitter page and you can just immediately tell what kind of person they are?
Yeah, just go to Joe Biden's Twitter page and it's like,
Exactly.
Oh my god.
It's just like Joe Biden's Twitter page. You know, I'm better than everybody else, but I don't want to say it. So
except I will say it, I'm better.
it's like that. You've definitely got the inner higher class circle of speedrunning, the good old boys club, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
And if you're not in the good old boys club, then you're not going to fit in. I kind of experienced this when I've been to one AGDQ ever, and it was AGDQ 2018. You were there for like a couple of days with me, Cyber, and we went out and we ate at Bar Louie, good old Bar Louie, good shit.
That was like unironically though. What like we got like it was something, but I liked it. I went
was
to Bar
fucking
Louie
epic.
again at one point, and I was trying to think, what the fuck did we eat that one time? I couldn't figure it out, so I just got something else. But
It was
pretty
fucking good.
Yeah.
We had like fries and some other shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you-
AGDQ 2018, I went there and I just did not fit in. I almost drove home like the third day because nobody there was as friendly or as welcoming as I thought it was going to be. And this is the biggest speedrunning event in the world, right? So I
I
thought I would find
perspective of
somebody
going
to
there,
hang out
so.
with. It wasn't until like Wednesday or Thursday that I actually had somebody like approach me and be like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" It was Draco Dan. Shoutouts to Draco Dan, fucking Sonic Adventure 2 runner. He's a good dude.
It's all right.
And
It's alright.
I mean, we hung out and we had a good time. So, and then the Zelda boys, they took me in as one of their own. So shoutouts to the Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time boys as well. They were pretty cool.
That's cool.
The thing about GDQ is that like it's just so big, you know, and then it's also like 99% of the people you see, and like, you know, when you're walking around the venue, it's like those people are just like stream monsters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they know
Oh,
nothing about
It's
speedrunning.
that kind of thing where
like,
it's like
You walk up to someone and it's like, "Hey, did you guys see that new Super Mario run by Puncation?" It's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you want to talk
oh my
about
god.
something else?
You're trying to, like,
Yeah,
find speedrunners to hang
it
out
was
with
like
them.
that. It was just like that.
It's like, did you see that
Um,
run?
Wow, that
Yeah,
was
man.
really good.
It's the inner circle elitism. And the funny thing about speedrunning is like you cannot talk about elitism because you'll just get made fun of. It's
Yeah,
you
you're just
call it out.
not good. You're just not
You
good.
call it out and you're like, "Hey, elitism's kind of a bad thing. Can we like not do this?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?
Why are you
I'm
crying?
not an elitist."
Why are you crying?
Like, and then they'll quote tweet you and say LMFAO and all the dumb Twitter shit that people usually.
Yeah, I mean, I've been off Twitter for a bit because, you know, the whole banishment. And honestly, like, Twitter culture is just, I don't know. Like, it's
Twitter
toxic
culture's
as shit. It's really bad.
Mhm.
Because, like, it is just internet culture and social media is, like, boiling every interaction down to just, like, oh, how do I look
Points,
the
yeah.
best? Like,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't
That's
say that
like what
kind of
Twitch
stuff
is
in,
like
like,
now,
private
too.
conversation.
And I think that might have just been like the start of the contribution to me just being more and more disinterested as time goes on. And this wasn't something that kind of happened in a day. This happened over the course of like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, But
I'm kind of getting disinterested myself because like I try to watch streams, but it's like I can't find a speedrun stream. I'm finding like entertainment streams, and I just can't find a speedrun.
Yeah. Like you have like, you know, the stream notifications all over the place. You know, like the layout has like 5 trillion text things on it. Recent donation in the last hour. You know, donations over the last 30 seconds.
It's genuinely hard not to find like that kind of stuff all over.
I don't want to make this a call out post, but just look at like any top Resident Evil speedrunner. Like if you just like, oh, what's the Resident Evil 3 world record? Let me look at the VOD to take notes, and you like the run is like almost unwatchable. Like to the point where everything's covered up, you know, it's like, oh, what happened there? I can't see it because the donation thing blocked it while it was happening.
Yeah, Dick Sucker 69, thank you for the $5 donation. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. My thing has always been, you can like commentary wise do whatever, just leave the gameplay alone. Like have it be big and leave it alone. But yeah,
I try to keep my stream that way as well. Just game feed, cam, splits, or just chat if you don't have splits. That's it.
Make it simple. Keep it simple.
I agree.
Keep it simple.
I'm just wondering if there's like some layout like designer just like making extreme like good money, just like making some like 10 viewer layout.
Those like Reddit posts like, hey, I know how to. I just learned how to use Photoshop in 9th grade. Does anyone need a layout?
Does anyone need a layout?
I'll do it for free. Please.
Oh yeah.
Let me make you a layout, please.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's a lot of aspects of speedrunning that is cool in the sense of it being more popular. Like, I don't know, the idea that there's more people running certain games and thus, like, certain games are just getting more optimized. Like, that's always cool. But, like, the culture part of it, I don't know. Personally, I feel like it's not been in that great of a direction, like, at all. I think it's just been a constant, like, fall.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've always been a bit of an outcast, so...
I wanna like clarify something. So like the community as a whole does have this kind of elitist centrism to it. Centrism, lol. But I also want to say that like there are certain communities out there that are an exception to this rule.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different like little niche communities.
Like you know, there is Project Base. We have literally never had any drama ever, and it's just a good community. There's the Pokemon trading card game community. I've seen nothing but good things from that running community. You know, some of them still have that close-knit feeling without the celebrity bullshit. In fact,
there's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories community.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Speedrun drama there.
Oh no. That's one hell of a game. Shoutouts to my boy Mergy.
Oh my god.
Man.
I'm currently speedrunning Dungeon Dice Monsters, and like I'm pretty sure Mergy is still a mod of that, cause like he just like made the series.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mergy is literally a mod on Dungeon Dice Monsters. Like
reminder, like you're a cheater and you're a moderator.
Why is he allowed to be a mod? But I don't know. It's none of my business though.
None of my yeah. Let's not make this a call out post. We'll save this for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories episode. Which that definitely we need a whole episode for that one.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm done summarizing my history with it. That's all I really have to say.
Yeah, this is a good interview. You're a good communicator, good talker. The whole idea behind this interview series is like, I want to do a podcast and do the least amount of work possible. So like bring other people on and just talk, and then I just like do nothing. Like, so this is going to be good for me.
I decided to record the Stream Me episode. That's going to be good.
Yeah, we like after this is over, we'll plot that out for sure. But yeah, so I wanted to introduce a new segment with the kind of the more speedrunning focused podcast. And this is going to be a segment where we talk about like short, brief summary of why you should speedrun a game. Because you know there's a lot of these Reddit posts like, oh, what game should I start with? Does anyone know any good speedrun games? Like that kind of stuff. A lot of people like, you know, look and like shop for good speedruns. So
I certainly do. Like trying to find a game that's actually good to run and a good game is pretty difficult.
Oh yeah, it's pretty difficult. But it used to be difficult. Like this is a historical conversation. Now it's going to be easy because Bread is again going to do more work for us. So I have to All right.
Sure.
So this is going to be making the case. Now, why should you speedrun Project Base?
Good question. So, Project Base is a fantastic movement-based game. If you like Super Metroid, but you wanted it to be even shorter than it already is, speedrun Project Base. There are a variety of tutorials, most of which I've made and are on YouTube, that you can follow. There are multiple categories that you can run. If you think any percent is too hard, you can just run 104%. You have 0% chance of dying. The real challenge is the movement.
0% chance of death. That's pretty. I like this.
Unless you're sucking on your thumb the entire time, you're probably going to complete
What
the
about your
run
vape?
successfully. I don't know about that. Fucking vape.
Reminder:
Fattest rip.
I am a vapor. Just a reminder.
Hell yeah. So yeah, Project Base is fucking epic. There's a lot of different strats and routes you can do. You can route the game yourself. The game is modular, so when I say modular routing, right, what I mean by that is, like, you don't have to do all the fucking tricks that we do. We have alternate strategies and alternate routes that you can take.
So, like, if I were to just pick up this game and say, like, do, like, one of those weird 12-hour challenges or whatever, you know, like, you just go to wherever. Do you have, like, a website? Is it on speedrun.com where you have all these resources?
So we have speedrun.com/SMPB.
Okay.
That's Sierra, Michael, Papa, Bravo.
That's easy to remember.
That's very easy to remember.
Speedrun.com/SMPB. And you can go there. There's a guide section. A lot of different guides on different categories. How to do certain tricks if you get hung up on it. PBK clip is what most people get hung up on. You don't have to do that. You can just go up Red Tower, get power bombs, and then go back down. It's 10 seconds slower, so it doesn't matter.
That's not actually that much time. And
What would you say is the average runtime for each category? For, like, say someone who's, like, doing a decent amount of, like, studying beforehand, like, and they run the game for, like, a week, what do you think the average runtime would be for each category?
The middle of the leaderboard, I'm seeing a lot of 31s, 32s, 35s, 36s. So I would say, like, a 34 or a 35 is a pretty good starting time if you've done maybe 20 or 30 runs. But your first run is probably going to be, like, just a little under an hour or around an hour. So it's the perfect, like, start speedrun, I think.
Yeah, that's a good length for sure.
Yeah, man. And my PB is 29:01 or 29:04. Sorry.
That's the VOD we've been playing, I'm pretty sure.
I've got 9th place in it. You know.
9th place. Wait a second. I thought you were good at this game.
Well, 9th place
Have we
is
been
a-
deceived? Are we scrapping this
Is there 9
interview?
players of,
Oh my god. Sorry,
Well,
Brad.
doing this?
Well, there's 60 people on the leaderboard, so
Oh wow.
I'm just gonna go interview Stunt Coyote instead. This is bullshit.
interview Galamaz. He's even better.
Well, I don't know him.
Yeah. Stunt
Maybe I'll
has
ask
second. Galamaz has first. But it's a really tight-knit community, and a lot of people, I've personally just sat in a fucking Discord call with them and taught them shit that they were confused on. I will sit down with you personally. and
Is there
help
a
you run
Discord?
There is a project-based Discord, yeah.
Okay. Would you mind linking that? I'll throw it in the
Yeah, I
description.
don't mind. Yeah, sure. All right, let me.
Is Andrea banned from this Discord or?
No, not
I
banned.
might be. Did you hear the story about me getting banned from the GTA Discord?
That's really funny.
Yeah?
I can't wait to hear that. But
I don't know.
here's
I was
the Discord link, official project-based server. There we
okay.
go.
282 members. Oh, I thought this was like a small community, and
I thought this was tight knit.
So
I thought
a,
this
lot, a lot of people from the Super Metroid community are in this Discord,
I
but
see.
they never talk. They're
I
just in
gotcha.
there because it's a Metroid Discord.
I gotcha.
But
Yeah, I mean,
pretty cool.
like the speedrun does
sometimes-
look pretty cool. If I were into these kind of games, which I played Symphony of the Night, and that's really fun. So I might play Super Metroid at some point. So I mean, like for this kind of game, I don't know. It does seem pretty fun.
Yeah.
I own it, but I've never been. Is that I get lost and I just like.
Are there any
don't
like
worry about-
beginners traps when it comes to speedrunning this game that you'd want to talk about?
Yeah, so like I said before, there's 2 tricks that are beginner traps. Early super missiles, you don't have to do that. You can just fight Spore Spawn. Just getting early super missiles saves 3 minutes. You skip a boss. You just have to learn how to do what's called a mock ball.
Mm-hmm.
Mock ball is actually not too hard to learn. And the other one is PBK clip. PBK stands for power bombs before Kraid. PBK. Getting power bombs early.
Isn't that PBBK?
P is just power bombs because power bombs.
Is okay, but like, don't people abbreviate it as PBs though?
Yeah, we do. But yeah, so it's PBK clip. Power bombs before crate. You get those, and that saves you a whole lot of time. You don't even have to get them. You can just get them. Alternate strategy. You can just go up red tower, get power bombs that way, go back down, and boom, there you go. Easy.
Would you?
Some other beginner traps. I would say crate is kind of tricky if you don't know what you're doing. But just watch how I do the fight, and
would you say that this is good for people that haven't played Super Metroid before? Would you recommend they speedrun Super Metroid before they do this?
I would say,
or?
So I would say don't speedrun Super Metroid before doing this, because you're going to have a lot of preconceived notions about the game that might not carry over the best
So is
way.
this more for people that, say, played Super Metroid as a kid and want something to get into?
I would say play Super Metroid casually or play Project Base casually before attempting a speed.
Okay.
You're going to have a lot better time if you just play it casually. Then you'll appreciate how quick the speedrun is, because you'll be like, oh, I spent hours on this, and now I'm skipping over it in 3 seconds. That's awesome.
Would you say it's worth a casual playthrough if you've already casually played through Super Metroid itself?
Yes, it is, because there's a lot of new shit in it.
Okay.
It's like Super Metroid DX. Think of it that way.
All right.
What does the DX mean?
Deluxe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Is it like Super Mario Brothers Deluxe on the Game Boy Color?
Yeah. Just like that.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna learn how to speedrun it, but I haven't yet.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good conversation, good summary. And if anyone wants to see more resources about the game, I'll put all the links in the description, and you'll, I'm sure, be there to help anyone if they have any questions. Would you like to shout yourself out? What was your Twitter handle, your websites, your streams, all that kind of crap?
Yeah, Twitter.com/Stealinbread, Twitch.tv/Stealinbread, and YouTube.com/Stealinbreadruns. And my Twitter
streaming?
URL, no stream B. Lol. My Twitter, the I in Stealin is not there. It's really weird. But
yeah, that account that I made, it's really weird. I don't know what happened, but it's just,
no, some jackass stole the Stealinbread with the I in it, and he still hasn't given up his account. It's just sitting there.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, those are my URLs. Hell yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So hopefully you tell your friends about this wonderful interview.
Yeah.
Because we need more viewers, please. I'm desperate for attention. And I think this is pretty good, though.
That wasn't a joke, by the way.
That was definitely not a joke. It might have sounded like a joke, but no, it was literally like an actual request. But yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty good for the first interview. And how did you feel, Brett, about the experience?
I feel pretty good. That was pretty epic.
Okay.
Nice little trip down memory lane.
Yeah, that was fun.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
we will most likely have Brett on at some other point. I don't know when we're gonna do the Stream Me scoop. We might do it soon. But either way, we definitely need to do that because that's gonna be really funny.
That sounds really interesting to listen to, because I have no reference here. So.
Yeah.
Get ready for the wildest fucking saga of your life. Just get ready. It's a wild ride.
There's a lot to go into for sure. The scandals. It's just scandal after scandal after scandal.
Jeez.
Ending in a burning down
2017
website.
was fucking nuts. Like, that was the craziest year ever.
God.
Oh my god, bro. That was
Ridiculous. But do you have anything else you want to say for any viewers out there that might not know you and that think, who's this guy? And somehow they still think that about an hour and a half or so. Still wondering.
I just want to say, hey, what's up? And also, not bad.
All right. Bert, do you have anything to say about bread?
Cool classes.
Thanks.
We're all class bearers here, except someone had to put some shade over them.
Yeah, ruining the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
We also all wear muscle shirts on a daily basis, I'm hoping. Oof.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Oof. Should shave under there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I need to shave.
I shaved my armpits
A
today.
little bit hairy. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. If you just want to throw whatever. It's your...
Oh yeah, if you're gonna speedrun Project Base seriously, get one of these SD2 SNES. It's okay. It's backwards on the camera, but you know,
No, it's not.
it's
Not for me,
$200, but it is a little.
That's
Whoa,
That's
really wanted to get
$200.
Yep.
That has the capability of any Super Nintendo game on it.
Any Super Nintendo game, with the exception of Yoshi's Island, Mario RPG, and Mega Man X3.
Is that because they have the fucking meme chip?
It's because they have
Yeah,
the meat chip,
actually,
yeah. But
I think
it's
there was a
really
recent
good. Fits a new
update.
Super Nintendo, and
Well, Brooke just actually does. Hold on.
There may be a Super Mario RPG like update, so you can play that now.
oh, okay, there might be.
So it's like
Wow.
two games now.
I mean, if you're gonna run Mario RPG, just get a J card, because they're like $2. But
I have two of them.
Oh hell yeah!
Brooks got two of them. See? That's how... Just treat them like currency. It's the new US dollar.
Pretty much.
I guess this is a good way to close out the podcast. Hitting y'all with a 4th edition lightning bolt.
The 4th edition lightning bolt.
Hell yeah!
It's 4th edition.
4th edition lightning bolt's fucking epic.
So, from what I understand about Magic, which isn't much, is there a first, second, and third edition?
Alpha, beta, and then
No.
Radiant Knights. And then there's more. It's not actually called first and second.
Okay.
They're called alpha and beta.
Okay. On the subject of alpha and beta, would you consider
no.
yourself an alpha speedrunner or a beta speedrunner?
I'm an alpha gamer.
Okay.
That's
Running
ironic.
the podcast
Don't take
right
that
here.
seriously. Do not take that seriously.
Thank you for the disclaimer. So, I have a question. How do you feel about Hirofumi Matsuoka?
Hirofumi Matsuoka. Who is that?
They're in the credits for the VOD of this Project Base run that I'm currently looking at.
So are those the credits for the base?
Well,
or
I just got
the
exposed. I just got exposed. 'cause
You
I
don't know
my
any...
Yeah.
I personally memorize every person in the credits for the games that I
Oh,
play.
you do. You do.
Yep.
Okay.
Like,
Who's your favorite name in MMX?
I guess I just got terminated.
4th edition.
is that 4th edition?
No, it is not. I don't. This is from 2001. I forget which set this is from, but I like the art. It's really good. Hell yeah.
God.
Fucking nerd.
Fucking love Magic. It's such a good card game.
Speaking of good card games... I'm sorry, Brad.
Here's
Card.
the lightning bolts beside each other, right? There's the new edition. There's the old edition. It's fucking epic. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Alright.
own you right here, because I'm gonna play Card Destruction.
Oh,
sorry?
shit.
No!
I'm playing Card Destruction,
No.
so...
My card!
I don't know
My
about
weird
you.
card!
No! It can't be! Impossible!
Brooke, was that Serpent Knight Dragon? Oh my god. Alright, I don't have this on tray here, but I'm gonna... I'm gonna edit this part out where I search for the copy pasta.
The copy pasta.
Someone on...
Are we still recording?
Yeah, someone on our first Caleb video. I don't know if you've keeping up with the clips at all, but we released when Caleb got banned, we released a clip on that. And in the video when we're critiquing him, he's got like a poster of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And of course, I'm saying like, oh, it's just some dumb card. Why not have Serpent Knight Dragon? That one looks
Why
cool.
not?
And
That's-
some gamer got so mad and wrote something that was hilarious that I'm gonna...
I remember that. I think I remember that. That's
Yeah.
really fun.
It was really funny. All right, let me look at the comments
Oh
here.
my god, dude. That's so good. Holy crap.
Fuck
It's
you.
really long.
Where is this? Maybe I deleted it. I guess I deleted it. Because I'm a comment deleter. I censored their free speech, I'm pretty sure. How do you feel about free speech? This is the lightning round?
I have the picture.
Well, freedom isn't free, right? So, speech
Everything comes at a price.
also isn't free. Everything comes at a price.
The fuck?
Something, something, something. Air Force, blah blah blah.
Join the military today.
Join
Unless
the
you're
military
transgender,
today.
then you can't.
Hardcore. Yeah.
Alright, here we have the fuck
That-
Serpent
that
Knight
is a
Dragon. And there's four question marks. An old vanilla card that saw 0 play. That is Erebus, the Underworld Monarch, and the main boss card for a pretty well-known deck. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Monarchs. Whoa.
Wow.
Even I've heard of Monarchs, and I've never fucking played Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive. I know what Monarchs is.
But I just like the idea that I don't know. This shit's just fucking hilarious. Like, imagine writing this, like, in a general.
This is the
statement.
funniest paragraph I think I've ever read.
I've still to this day not read the entire thing. I've only read the first part.
Oh my god, this guy is this guy's a woke gamer, dude. He's on that woke. Let me just tell you.
I find it hilarious that you keep saying you've never heard of Caleb before, yet you are literally who?
Literally who?
It's really funny because like
knows Caleb's a well-known streamer.
In the video, I literally say that like I knew Caleb personally. So like I don't like this is one of those examples where it's like, you know, people that don't watch the video but just like write an essay anyway. It's like, fuck yeah, I know Caleb. We used to be buds before he became a fucking sellout.
There's like fan fiction in here.
Can I like meme on this video and just like record in a super deep ironic voice and just read the entire thing?
You can do that right now if you like.
Just call it serpentknightdragon.mp4.
You can do that, yeah.
I think that would be a good ass video.
Fucking the four question marks honestly is I don't know. Like,
oh my god.
The fact that someone whose defense of Caleb like using awful language is like, oh, he doesn't actually mean it, they're just jokes. The fact that he doesn't understand that I'm just joking when I criticize this fucking poster in the background, like
your emotions are completely unstable.
Again, I have not read this. Like so like I literally don't know what this says.
You keep showing screenshots of other people. These aren't even Caleb's words.
Do you know anything about the Caleb situation?
I know about the Caleb situation. I'm gonna refrain from talking.
You're gonna refrain from commenting. Yeah. We have an official official refrenation, if that's a word.
It's not a drama I want to be involved in.
You've heard it here first.
Mm-hmm.
So, Stealinbread is not involved.
I'm a Jew just because someone calls me. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Is that really something that's in here?
Read the middle, like
middle?
the fourth, the big paragraph, and like in the middle part.
This is hilarious, though. To me, you guys are the reason that people can't stand you guys. Your emotions are completely unstable. Proof of that is right here on this video of you angrily making comments about Caleb instead of actual criticism. Why does it hurt you so much to be called what you really are? ? If you were born a man and someone... Oh, no.
It's
I'm a Jew, but just because some calls me a guy doesn't mean I hate the person.
It's so fucking good.
I'm not some animal.
I can't read this.
I'm treated like one.
I can't read this.
This is centrism.
Is unbelievable.
This is centrism, dude. Like
you
that's
should
what
be
this
happy
is.
that anyone doesn't call you a slur.
Oh my god.
Again, I have not read this until just now. Like
my mind is blown.
This dude
is so woke.
This is why we're doing this podcast. Is because like I got tired of centrist and speedrunning, so it's like I gotta stay something. And this is centrism.jpg right here. This is
you called them garbage. That's far worse than any slur.
Far worse than any slur.
Oh my god.
That's hypocritical, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just as bad as the other guys. Oh god.
Anyway,
that was a good
that
one.
was fun.
Yeah, that was epic.
Alright, I'm gonna stop.